My name is Jeff Roth. I'm with Commercial Finance Advisors. We do small business financing as well as commercial mortgages throughout the country. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about general strategies of working with bankers and individual loan officers at banks. Keep in mind that this is just one video of our total report regarding solutions to being declined financing. The rest of the report is available on our website. The most important thing to keep in mind when dealing with loan officers is that roughly 50 to 70% of the banks out there are simply not doing any deals at this point and haven't been doing much for the last couple of years here. So if you are talking to a bank that is doing loans, they are likely swamped with loan requests. So they're cherry picking. They're looking for the best deals that they can find. They're filtering through them. They're looking for reasons to decline files as quickly and efficiently as possible. And this is really contrary to the way it used to be. 3 years ago, people would actively compete on loan requests. They would try to figure out how to get deals done. They would actively work on them. And now the mindset is really pretty much opposite of that. It's you find one negative feature to a loan, and a lot of times the loan officers will simply quickly just deny it and move on, looking for the next, quote, perfect loan that they can submit to committee and get done. So what that means for you is that when you're dealing with these individuals, you need to be as prepared as possible. You need to be able to respond to their objections quickly, efficiently, and in the way that they want to hear it. You really have to put on your underwriting hat here a little bit and be ready to respond. As far as the role that the bankers play, this position, this job position, has really changed over the years. The bankers used to hold a lot of credit decision. They'd hold a lot of sway over loans, and really had a big role in getting loans done or not done. And a lot of that's gone away for the most part. Most bankers now, loan officers, they really work as salespeople. They're trying to drive loan requests into the pipe of the bank, and they really are gathering information and again preparing packages and just simply submitting them to the committee for their credit decision. So, all in all, and this is not completely true across the board. Some of the smaller banks, the loan officers will have more sway than at the larger banks, but you really need to keep that in mind. The other thing to keep in mind is that as they are so busy with loan requests, that it's very common for them to make mistakes. And perfect example of this is the personal expenses. A lot of times, for example, if you had, say, a truck for your business, you might have a truck loan that shows up on your business expenses, and because that loan is personally guaranteed, it would likely show up on your personal credit report as well. So if the banker is not being careful and thorough, he might double count that expense. And if one of your problems is that you have tight cash flow, that additional expense that's not accurate could actually put you underneath their debt coverage ratios and kill your loan request. So you need to be involved with the process and talk to them. And if they tell you that they're declining the file for some reason, you need to get involved and challenge what they're doing and how they're coming up with their numbers to make sure that they aren't making a mistake like that. The other major point here is that, and it might sound contradictory to what I just said before, but there is a political process to getting loans closed internally at a bank. And so what this means for you is that you really want to try to work with loan officers that are very well established at the bank that you're working with. You ideally want to work with the most productive loan officers in the bank, the top 5%. Those people are, first of all, they're going to know the system cold. They're going to know what it takes to get a loan request done at that bank. Also, they're likely going to have a lot of respect internally at the bank. And if they believe in your loan request, they will be in a better position to promote it and to push the file to help you get it closed. If it's the opposite case, where it's maybe a newer loan officer or maybe someone who is struggling at the bank, they're not going to have that political clout. They're not going to have that ability to push the file. They're just going to hear no and basically go away. And you need somebody, especially if your transaction is on the fringe, to be able to really sit there, sit down with underwriting, go over it, go over the strengths, and try to push them to give an approval on your loan. So, in general, the most important advice we would have is you really need to be prepared. And if you have been declined financing from other banks, you really need to do your best to find out exactly why. I mean, you typically, most bankers, after they figure out they can't do your deal, they want to move on as quickly as possible. They'll likely send you a letter, maybe they'll send you a quick email, and want to go away. But you, for yourself, you need to get on the phone with that individual and discuss what the issues are, what they didn't like, and then obviously you want to do the best you can to address those issues and try your best to fix, basically to fix the problem. And if you can't fix the problem, you need to figure out other strategies, other ways to get around it, so that when you submit your loan to the next bank, you'll be in that better of a position. Or to be able to submit it with knowing that's a negative mark on your file, so that you can quickly and efficiently tell them in the beginning of the process so that you have this challenge, and that they can quickly say no, so that you can actually just move on, try to find another bank. Otherwise, you could be stuck in limbo with the bank for months while they tinker with your loan request. So hope that gives you some perspective on dealing with individual loan officers. Again, this is just one section of our report. There's many other sections that we talk about. For example, we discuss how to research banks for you to be able to figure out if they are healthy enough to lend. We talk about other objections such as declining gross sales, low cash flow, being over leveraged, and many other issues. So we hope you find this information useful, and wish you the best of luck with your search for financing. Thank you.